me, what is it that you guys do?
What Enterprise Sage does is always an interesting question because it's complex. It involves a number of different things, but we really break it down and it's really simple. The simplicity is we help business owners determine the value, and then we map out ways to increase that value. And along the way, while we're increasing that value through various tools and resources and knowledge, we also help those business owners extract the value way before they ever exit. And then also the tax efficiency that comes along with that, improving the EBITDA, which all of that goes to improving the exit value, usually working with the business owner and others to get multiple buyers, which increases the value. And then there's the after dollars, after taxes. So it is all of that and a whole lot more is what Enterprise Sage does for every business owner that we work with.
Do you want to tell me about the 18 drivers? What does that mean?
Through academic research, it's been proven that there are 18 drivers of business value, and they all contribute differently. So it can be the revenue, it can be the size of the market, the percentage of ownership in the market, legalities. There are 18 key drivers that determine a business value. Most business owners never know that. It's typically not brought up prior to the sale when they start working with an M&A specialist or a business broker. What Enterprise Sage does is we start working with business owners years before. So the more time you have, the more money it puts in your pocket, of increasing the value of those business drivers, which drives into the business valuation, which makes your business more attractive to multiple buyers, which typically gives you a higher exit value. And there's also the tax efficiency that comes along with those higher multiples. That's what Enterprise Sage does with the 18 business drivers.
Now, I've heard you tell people before that getting a good idea of their business's value is as easy as going to the website at enterprisesage.com and selecting Start Your Assessment. And there's, 18 different questions?
18 questions. They tie to those 18 business drivers we've talked about previously. And it takes about 10 minutes to answer those 18 questions. That'll give you, based upon a historical data of about 70,000 different businesses, it'll get you in the 90% range. And then it also shows you the gap. So it shows you what your business is worth and what it could be worth. And that's the significant value of working with Enterprise Sage. We help you determine the value, increase the value, optimize the efficient extract of that value, optimizing your taxes, and a whole lot more through an army of resources that we bring to every client situation. So 18 questions, 10 minutes, it could be worth potentially tens, if not hundreds, if not millions of dollars to you. Is it worth 10 minutes answering 18 questions? Many people find that it is. And then we have a conversation with you.
So after those 18 questions, when a business comes in the door, what would you say is the biggest pain point for them? Their biggest pitfall that you see time and time again?
Their biggest pain point is usually something operational, but the biggest pitfall is usually the abyss that they don't know is in front of them. And that is all the unknowns. I mean, you think about it. Business owners work for years to get a business up, operating, functional, profitable, all those wonderful things. And then there's the abyss of the unknown of, okay, how am I going to get out of this at some point in time in the future? How do I exit? How do we get multiple buyers for that exit? Management of the taxes. The taxes are actually an interesting one. Most business owners, they have an excellent CPA or bookkeeper who does compliance. If they're larger, they're going to have a CFO and a controller. But usually the part that they're missing, that important part that they're missing, is proactive tax strategies. And yes, I know CPAs have some tax strategies, but they don't have the volumes of tax strategies that a certified tax strategist does. And then how do you tie all those tax strategies into the legal structure, estate structure, tax compliance, and every other aspect of the business? So the biggest pain point is literally paying unnecessary taxes. And we're not talking about doing things illegal, folks. It's not worth the risk. This is all legal. It's all in the tax code, and that's what a tax strategist can do for a business owner. And what Enterprise Sage does is we bring all of that together. You don't have to figure it out. We figure out with you and for you and guide you.
So it is conceivable that, let's say, a business owner has been working with their CPA for 10 plus years, and they really like the guy. He's a great CPA. It happens that after doing this assessment, we realize they've probably overpaid in taxes. Let's say they didn't take into account depreciating assets or many of the other creative tax strategies that we work with business owners on. They can keep that CPA, correct?
Yes, certainly. Keep the CPA. The CPAs are excellent at tax compliance. They're excellent for some business resource knowledge, but there's a lot of things a CPA doesn't know or an attorney doesn't know. They all have their areas of expertise. That's where you take a certified tax strategist along with a broad-based business consulting firm, Enterprise Sage, and the tax compliance. You put it all together. That's what we help you with. And you come up with the optimum result. And what you already have is good. How do we make it better in so many different ways? That's what we do. Time and time again with all the business owners that we work with. Everything we focus on is good. How do you make it better?
Obviously, tax strategy is not the only thing that we deal with here at Enterprise Sage, right? Do you want to speak a little bit about the benefit of having a fractional C-suite, like a fractional CFO?
Excellent. Yeah, great opportunities. So CPAs are great at compliance, and that's in the past. Sometimes they can give you some things on a forward-looking basis. But where you're working with a chief financial officer, you don't need to hire one on a full-time basis. Maybe you want to try one out before you engage one on a full-time basis. You can bring in fractional CFOs on a limited basis or a project basis. You get to learn from them. They're great educators. Most of them have been with multiple different companies. You work with that fractional CFO to really see both sides to the coin. One is compliance, taxes, and bookkeeping. The other one is forward-looking. That's what the CFOs predominantly do. They're forward-looking in your finance planning. They can participate in some tax planning on a go-forward basis, better utilization of assets, enhancement to your EBITDA, and just that forward-looking view that they bring to companies in so many different ways. It could be working with your suppliers, evaluating your cost of goods sold, known as your COGS, helping you develop a financial key performance indicator, so KPIs. All of that and a lot more are with fractional CFOs or chief technology officers or fractional chief marketing officers. All of them have lots of expertise in that fractional C-suite, and that can be used to increase the value of your organization. It's interesting, sometimes people think to increase the value, they have to substantially grow the organization. Oftentimes, they can keep the operation approximately the same size, trim off the non-profitable customers, increase the profitable customers, keep the business about the same size, and substantially increase the value of the business. That's what Enterprise Sage does. We are your business wealth navigators.
Now, obviously, wealth doesn't just tie into having a fractional CFO or a great creative tax strategist, but we can also offer assistance with fractional CMOs, chief marketing officers.
Chief marketing officers, they have the experiences in lots of different ways. It may not be in your specific company or your industry, but that repertoire of different life experiences and the many different companies that they've worked with can substantially increase the value of your business where it's applied in the appropriate way. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be larger. Again, it can be upscaling in your profile of your customer, increasing the diversity of that customer. There are so many different ways that the fractional C-suite can bring value to your business. Enterprise Sage brings together business wealth navigators because about 70% of a business owner's wealth is tied up in their business. So when you say wealth, it's not just the liquid stuff. That's the easy stuff. It is the illiquid wealth. And how do you increase the value of the illiquid wealth all the way along as you own that business, not just at the exit? Don't leave it till the end. If you leave it till the end, you're typically going to get less wealth and you're going to pay more taxes for it, and it doesn't work out as well.
We talk about a key or sweet spot for a business owner to start working with us in planning for their exit is 2 to 5 years, correct?
2 to 5 years is reasonable. Sometimes it can be up to 10 to 15 years in advance.
Now, when we talk about a business owner's exit, let's talk about their decades worth of service in that business.
Mm-hmm.
Why is a business not necessarily a great retirement plan?
Oh gosh, a couple of decades ago, yeah, I know I'm dating myself here, but I used to give presentations, your business as your retirement plan, fact or fiction. And I had many different business owners that came to that because they thought their business was their retirement plan. They would build it, grow it, increase the value of it, sell it, and hey, that was their pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And through that presentation and working with many, many different business owners in all kinds of different industries and different sizes, they all quickly realized through a couple conversations that waiting for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is not the right thing to do. It's not necessarily the wrong thing to do, but there are better solutions. So that's how do you structure a business at the beginning? How do you extract wealth out of it over time? How do you use debt appropriately so to your advantage, taking some of the equity off of the table, and really managing your business as an economic engine that spins off opportunities, and you need to be structured in the right way to capture those. Waiting till the end is not the optimal result. It's one of the worst things you can actually do.
We'll assume that many business owners are smart and they've got financial planners, maybe one employed specifically for their eventual exit or their own retirement. What makes that financial planner ineffective at planning for that business owner's retirement?
I love that question. So many times the business owner's wealth, 70% of it is illiquid. Financial planners, business advisors, financial advisors, whatever you call them, your broker, whatever it is, your insurance agent that's going to sell you insurance as an investment. They focus on liquid investments. They do not focus on liquid and illiquid investments. So when 70% of your wealth is tied up in an illiquid asset, and you as the business owner are the only one who can substantially change the outcome of the value of that illiquid investment, those folks can help you later to various degrees, but they do not focus on how to increase the value of your illiquid assets. We focus on both. So it is increasing the value of the illiquid investment, how to extract off illiquid to liquid, moving it over to the investment side of the balance sheet, managing the taxes so you actually have more wealth all the way through the earning years as well as prior to the exit and after exit. And then we work with specific financial advisors who are very talented in working with high net worth and ultra high net worth individuals in the appropriate management of that wealth. Because advisors that are managing clients with smaller asset levels are usually not as comfortable and experienced with different solutions for higher net worth individuals, especially higher net worth individuals who have a lot of tax situations involved. So we're business wealth navigators, both on the illiquid as well as the liquid aspect of it.
So we've mentioned that a business owner may have a financial advisor, a financial planner, a CPA that they've worked with every year for their taxes. What makes it different when we provide them with service providers?
Most service providers operate in a silo, and they're very good inside of that silo. So a CPA is going to focus on tax compliance. They're going to do some strategic planning, but not as many different levers as that you can use with a certified tax strategist, a certified tax coach. If you're working with a CPA, which all business owners almost always are, there's things that you can improve, but there's also things of the unknown. So their experiences and focus is on tax compliance, not on tax strategies. That's many different tax strategies customized to fit your situation. Works very similar with attorneys. You have attorneys that specialize in mergers and acquisitions, you have them that specialize in estate planning law, you have them that specialize in intellectual property, litigation, all different areas of expertise. There's very few attorneys that have expertise across all of those areas. So that's where a lot of companies will have an excellent general counsel who works specifically with a group of different attorneys. You can be at the same firm or multiple different firms, and they each bring their expertise together, and that experienced general counsel attorney, they're responsible for putting all the pieces together and optimizing the result. So it's on the tax, it's on the growth, it's on the technology, it's on the business valuation, it's on your illiquid assets and your liquid assets, and a whole lot more. It's all of those different aspects that we work with the business owners, their existing business professionals, bringing in other resources to optimize their outcome. What you have is good. If you had the opportunity to have something better that's going to have an impact for multiple generations, would you want to at least consider it? You should. Business Wealth Navigators, Enterprise Sage. Call us.
If a business owner only goes out and shops for service providers as they need them, we'll assume that most business owners don't actually go into business with a full list or a checklist, if you will, of the things that they're going to need. What things get missed along the way?
Too many to go through in this brief interview. It's kind of like it's like if you had a house, right? And you built that house one room at a time. So you start off with one room, and then you build the next one, the next one, the next one. The infrastructure, so the plumbing, electrical, HVAC, all those different things, they wouldn't connect inside that house. Unfortunately, that's how most businesses start and grow and stay. They typically don't upgrade from good to better across all of those different areas of expertise with a coordinated plan to increase the value with a focus on the 18 business drivers. So through our website, enterprisesage.com, you can answer 18 questions in about 10 minutes, and you'll have an opportunity to see those business drivers and how those business drivers impact your current valuation. It's an estimate, it's a good estimate, and what you could have. So there are so many different ways. And the difference between starting a business, growing a business, and running a business, those are different life cycles of a company, but there's also exiting that business, and you don't wait till the end to plan all of your exiting. You work on it as early as you possibly can.
How much money could a business owner save if they had a plan built by intention and design and not just by shopping by necessity?
Wow, that's a loaded question, but let's break it apart here. It's not necessarily a dollar amount, it's typically a percentage. So a business, it's got to get up and running, right? You got to start it, you got to grow it. You got to be able to keep the lights on. You get your margins, you expand your margins, you learn a lot. Typically from there, what a business owner leaves on the table in value, in multiple different ways, is between 30 and 60% of the illiquid value. And there's so many different ways that it's left on the table. So if you had the opportunity to increase the value of your business by 30 to 60%, why wouldn't you? And it's not a one-time thing. It is an ongoing effort. And your business gets continually reevaluated. The drivers get measured. How those drivers impact the overall valuation. That's a recurring, I won't say project, but it does take about 2 hours a year. So is it worth 2 hours a year to impact the value of business by hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars? Yes, it is. Is it difficult? No, it's not. We guide business owners through that process. We make it easy for you to increase the value of your business and where to increase the value of your business. Because without our roadmap process, you can spend all kinds of money and be focused on the wrong things that are not increasing the value. So Enterprise Sage, we're business wealth navigators. working with you to one, determine the value, see what the value could be, map the drivers, guide you through that process, bring together an army of consultants as needed, where needed, to help you increase the value of your business, increase the EBITDA, reduce the taxes, and bottom line, to have more multi-generational wealth. Illiquid turns into liquid. We're there for you on the entire journey.
So for those business owners that think our services do not fit them, let's use a supply and manufacturing business for an example. Mm-hmm. What would be their typical pain points and how would we help them?
A supply and manufacturing business, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Those are always interesting because all of their different customers. So, is their customer base diversified? If they have contracts for various suppliers, are those contracts being negotiated for optimum results? Do they know who their profitable clients are, the mid-profitable clients, and their non-profitable clients? Oftentimes in business, the most profitable clients are supporting the unprofitable clients. It just takes due diligence, development of KPIs, key performance indicators, to identify the segmentation of the business's book of business and their customers, where to focus the various resources. All of those and a lot of other things can go to improve the value of that business, increase the profit margin of that business. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to increase in size, which I get. A lot of owners are very comfortable with their size. But if you can keep the same size and increase the profitability of your business, which increases the value of your business in just one way, again, there's at least 18 different ways to increase the value of your business. It's all of this together as a system. And then if you want to grow, we have resources and knowledge and expertise in helping you grow in the most effective ways. You could bring in a chief marketing officer. Your organization is a little bit light on IT. You could be bringing in a fractional chief technology officer or on a project basis. It's okay, so you want to grow. Where do you find the money? We help you find the money inside of your existing business to grow the business or increase the value of the business or do both of those. So Enterprise Sage is about business wealth navigation and increasing the value of the illiquid aspect of your portfolio and also the liquid value of your portfolio through various organizations that we work with.
So if you were not as established as some of the business owners that we have been talking about, and let's say you are in your first year, think some of the biomedical contracts that we've worked with, how would Enterprise Sage be of benefit to somebody just starting out their journey?
It comes to mind a client that we have. He's in the biomedical device business, been up and operating a couple years now. Has a strong, solid business, great opportunities, and it's how to structure his intellectual capital portfolio for the business that he's in. It's how to attract additional investor capital into that organization and through different organizations that he can work with, but also how to position that value to that potential audience. It's how to go to trade shows where there could be opportunities for multi-million-dollar contracts. So it's the positioning of that information to the potential buyers of his product. It is the messaging. He has a great opportunity, as most businesses do. It's how do you optimize that opportunity, as most business owners are really good at seeing their company through one lens.